Hey everyone, today we're going to share an incredible story about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that you might not have heard before. Stick with us through the whole video because this one is really fascinating. About 800 years ago, there was a righteous and compassionate ruler named Sultan Nuruddin Zangi. He was deeply devoted to Allah, and every night he would send blessings, durud, upon the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, 1,000 times before going to bed. One night, due to exhaustion, Sultan Nuruddin could only manage 700 duruds before falling asleep. That night, he had a dream where he saw the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who asked him, "O Nuruddin, why did you send 300 fewer duruds today?" Startled by the dream, the Sultan woke up immediately, recited 300 more duruds, and completed the 1,000. A few days later, Sultan Nuruddin had another dream. This time the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, appeared again and warned him, saying, "Two Christian men are planning to steal my body from the grave. You must come quickly and stop them before they succeed." The Prophet, peace be upon him, also described what the men looked like. When the Sultan woke up, he was confused and unsure what to make of the dream. He got up, performed ablution, wudu, prayed 2 units of salah, prayer, and went back to bed. As soon as he fell asleep, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, appeared again in his dream, telling him with urgency, "O Nuruddin, why are you still sleeping? Come quickly to Medina and protect my body from these 2 men." This time, the Sultan knew he couldn't ignore the message. He immediately gathered his army and told them, "There's something serious going on. Our beloved Prophet's, peace be upon him, blessed body is in danger, and that's why I keep seeing him in my dreams." Without delay, the Sultan and his army set off for Medina, and after 2 days of travel, they arrived. The Sultan's wise minister, Jamaluddin, advised him to avoid direct suspicion by making a public announcement. Declare that you wish to give a gift to every person in Medina, and as each person comes to receive their gift, you can observe them closely to find the 2 men from your dream. Following this advice, an announcement was made the next morning that Sultan Nuruddin would be giving gifts to all the residents of Medina. As each person came forward, the Sultan carefully examined their faces, looking for the 2 men described by the Prophet, peace be upon him. However, by the end of the distribution, the Sultan had not seen the 2 men. The Sultan then asked the people if anyone had missed receiving their gift. Someone from the crowd stepped forward and said, "Yes, Sultan. There are 2 very pious men in my neighborhood who rarely leave their home except for prayer. They are very devout and help the community a lot." Curious, the Sultan said, "I'd like to meet them." The people hesitated, saying, "Sultan, why would you want to meet them? They are very pious and devoted to worship." The Sultan replied, "I have a feeling they might be deceiving you and pretending to be something they are not." Understanding the situation, the governor of Medina assisted the Sultan in meeting these 2 men. When they arrived at their home, the Sultan immediately recognized them as the men from his dream. The men denied any wrongdoing and claimed to be sincere worshippers. They said, "We love the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and that's why we left our homeland to live in Medina." The Sultan warned them, "Tell the truth, or I'll have no choice but to take serious action." The men continued to deny any guilt. However, the Sultan wasn't convinced, so he ordered his soldiers to search the house. The soldiers found nothing suspicious at first, but then the Sultan noticed a prayer mat. Feeling uneasy, the Sultan prayed to Allah for guidance. Suddenly, he felt inspired to check underneath the mat. When they lifted the mat, they found a wooden board. Underneath the board was a tunnel that led directly to the Prophet's grave. The soldiers reported to the Sultan that the tunnel was almost complete, and they had nearly reached the blessed grave of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Sultan Nuruddin had the 2 men arrested immediately. Under pressure, they confessed that they had been sent by a group of Christians to steal the body of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and take it back to their land. They had disguised themselves as pious men and gained the trust of the people. At night, they secretly dug the tunnel, and they were just 1 night away from completing their plan. The Sultan had them executed for their crime. Afterward, he ordered the construction of a deep trench around the Prophet's grave, reinforced with molten lead, iron, and copper, to ensure that no one would ever attempt such a thing again. Sultan Nuruddin would often walk through the streets of Medina, thanking Allah with tears in his eyes, saying, "O Allah, out of all the people in the world, you chose me for this noble task. I can't thank you enough for this honor." If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and follow us for more fascinating Islamic stories.